obviously this session will be recorded and it will be shared with you guys by email at a later stage. All right, so everything that we're going to be sharing with you, you'll have access to this session so that maybe you want to really benefit from the information that Jessica will be sharing with us, so that, I mean, you can really apply it to your business. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sheila is apologizing. It's fine, Sheila. We're just, I mean, we really understand that maybe not everyone can really open their mic and camera, which is totally fine. But I mean, just for the people who really can, it's a good opportunity to see those beautiful faces. All right. So no
It's
worries
good.
about
It's
that.
good to talk with the, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, we miss talking to people and seeing people,
Yeah,
right?
actually, I can do anything to talking with the people. I can stand in the my my window just like this to talking with anyone.
Exactly. All right, so I think, I mean, I mean, we're good to start. If you can just like switch to the next slide, Jessica, before you take
Yeah.
over. So guys, I mean, just to get the maximum benefit during this session today, so we really encourage you to ask us anything, to really challenge us with your questions. I mean, ask a lot of questions, speak up if anything is really not clear. And I mean, you're free to interrupt us anytime you want. You can always type in your messages in the chat box. You can raise your hand, so I'll be here to support Jessica so that, I mean, we can take as much questions as we can. And obviously, if you want to leave your question till the end, I mean, you're free to do that as well. So before we even start, let me just introduce myself. So my name is, if we can just switch to the next slide. Yeah, so my name is Abdelkader Jrab. I'm the co-founder of a small business which is called Betibute. It's an online store. It's an e-commerce retailer. I've been in the digital marketing industry for more than 12 years now, and I've helped a lot of businesses to really establish their presence on digital in the whole region. To name some of them, Warner Music, Middle East, I've helped them establish their presence. Beesline, I've helped them with their e-commerce business. And currently, other than my small business, Betibute, I am one of the lead instructors at Astrolabs Academy. So we're doing this, we're doing a digital marketing course in Dubai, in Riyadh, in Jeddah, in the whole region. And I'm one of the leading digital marketing instructors as well in Lebanon, in one of the leading universities, which is the Lebanese American University. So that's in a nutshell about me. So now I just want to leave the floor to my colleague, which is Jessica. She's going to introduce herself and she's going to take us through today's session to talk more about Instagram for business.
Thank you so much, Abed. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I cannot see you right now because I'm presenting, but hopefully at the end of the session, I will be seeing your faces. My name is Jessica, and I've been living here in the UAE for the past 10 years now. So I'm another instructor at Astrolabs and very much assist Abed with courses as well. A bit of background about what I do. As I said, I've been working here in the digital industry about 8 to 9 years. I've worked on big brands like P&G, Emirates MBD, Amar, just to name a few. And right now I have my boutique agency called Social Astronaut, where I help SMEs and startups with their presence online. And if I'm not working, then I'm definitely with my band, doing some music and performing somewhere. So our session today, we will be talking about Instagram. How are we going to brand our Instagram to make it relevant to our audience? And how does it work for Instagram when it's for businesses versus just regular people? Please let me know if you have any questions. Of course, share your questions in the chat, or as Abed mentioned, you can always raise your hand and ask your questions. So jumping straight to it, first of all, like a general overview, why is Instagram important and what are the advantages for brands to be there? basically, I think you all have been using Instagram, and you know how important it is. But also for brands, it's very important because you can reach even wider audience, unlike how we used to traditionally do with the traditional marketing or the offline marketing. So you can definitely reach wider audience. You can have the right targeting with your ads, for example, so that you reach the right people that you need. You can always track online. You can understand and monitor your target audience, so you can see if you have selected, for example, an age group of 20 to 40. We have been working. Sorry, is anyone asking a question?
No, no, no. I just muted everyone right now.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to say that you can always track your target audience and monitor them to understand if they are the right people following you on Instagram, on Facebook, and so on, and if they kind of match what you have in real life. And of course, you can build your user-generated content. This is something that you can have collaborations with your fans so that they can generate the content for you. And there are lots of brands that are doing that. You can see some return on investment with small money that you invest online versus like offline. It's always costing much more. You can always see return on investment, especially that now with Instagram you can shop immediately. And of course, because it's online, you can always edit easily and change your content to make it snappy and quick. So I just want to say that when a company is branded well, it creates really a unique selling proposition. So it will have its proper look and feel, the experience, but basically we will be talking about the USPs today. So it's not just about you having the right logo, it's more about the strategy that takes place, or the strategy that needs to be crafted so that you tackle and you reach the right audience. You need to have the proper mission, the proper vision, the proper USPs, the values, and all these create your strategy. And from your strategy, then you can do your execution and the actual work on Instagram or any other platform, in fact. So branding is interesting because it is science. There's science behind it. Actually, brand strategists have studied neuroscience and psychology because they wanted to understand how people react. They created a deeper understanding on how brains work and how us as consumers choose a specific brand over and over again. So it's kind of a merge of two things. They discovered that design could be used as a tool to create something beautiful, and it takes it even a step further with strategy. So it's not just design by itself, but also it needs to be clubbed with strategy, and it can make a real impact on customers. In branding, it's the perception of your consumer, of your customer. It is everything, and Instagram definitely plays a big role in the perception of your business and the perception of your brand. Most of our decisions are based on emotions, so we need to be very careful of that. And the same thing applies to Instagram, really. There are so many reasons why we need to be focused on Instagram, uh, and how we need to put our efforts to be properly there. The first reason is that Instagram is huge, and you cannot deny that. There's more than 1 billion Instagram accounts, and basically 500 million Instagram accounts worldwide are daily active. And these numbers are given by Facebook. If you don't know, Facebook is the owner of Instagram, is the mother company of Instagram. And actually, according to Adweek, they had a study a couple of years ago, and they said that 80% of people on Instagram are voluntarily going to brand pages and liking it, or are following it, or engaging with it. So there's a really big opportunity. And also the traffic that it drives is really higher than other places. So we need to be very strong. We need to be concise with our content. Having a strong and concise Instagram that ties into your USP, or the unique selling proposition, will help you build your brand awareness and compelling presence online. In the next slides, I will touch upon what makes a compelling grid, and how we can engage with our customers through the overall consistency of look and feel of our brand. Remember, you are working to create a perception, okay, for your brand. So how does your brand fit into Instagram, and how do you present yourself on the platform is something very, very important. For example, and here, GE, General Electric, you might think, oh, they're super boring brand, but look at them on Instagram. They're trying to show you what they have in very right done imagery, trying to insert that human feel also to it, so that you can connect to them. So you have to really be very consistent. And if you are presenting yourself something on Instagram, and then offline you're different, or maybe offline you're doing all the right things, and then online you're doing something wrong, remember, people will see it, and they will see it with their perspective, with their perceptions. And if you build that bad gut feeling, it might affect your brand, and there's no coming back. So your brand USP is something that you need to start with. It's your mission, it's your value, it's your everything before you jump into and do your Instagram grid. You have to think about your unique selling proposition. This will be the driving force behind your Instagram, and it will be ultimately get you the attention that you need. So think about it as one unique sentence. Make it short, and you should be able to determine what is the difference between your brand and your competitor. It shouldn't be the same, for sure. It should show everything. It should show your feel, your values, and it should be something that you really take it to the end until you die. Your manager needs to know about it. Your janitor needs to know about it. Your customers need to know about it. Of course, you're not force feeding them words, so no one would know this sentence. No one would know these words. You have to show it with your imagery on Instagram, with your proposition on Instagram. So I just want to say that I have gathered here 4 categories, organized them for you, just so that you can understand how we can put down the USPs. Please let me know if you have any questions so far, if you want me to stop. If you're writing anything on the chat, let me see if there's anything so far. Okay. So the 4 categories to how to differentiate yourself. The first one is finding a need and fulfilling it. Can anyone please jump in and tell me of a brand, name a brand that you think has done this? They found a need and they're fulfilling it within their proposition. Anyone can think of any brand? Emirates Airline, Karim. Yes. All right. Actually, Brahim, I have chosen Karim. Yes, very good. I know that some of the brands that you have mentioned could be brands that really have very strong competitors, but they have found that unique selling proposition, that unique edge. They maybe even started long time ago, so they had that advantage over other brands for sure. The second category that I want to talk about is to specialize in a specific category. And this is kind of my favorite. Can anyone think about a brand that specializes in a category? And when I say that, think about not just the industry, but go a bit beyond. For example, the industry plus something extra that they provide, let's say about sustainability. Please say, write down. Oh, okay. Ex Karim. Google, Zomato. Okay, so my example is Lush, and I'm gonna explain why. I don't know if you guys know Lush. It's cosmetics, but they are all made by hand. They're handmade. So they have their offering, which is cosmetics. They are pure and done by hand. This is their proposition. They also have vegan items, and they are socially responsible. So they have drilled down their offerings into one specific category, which is cosmetics, but they made it much more skewed towards specific audience, if you might call it. The third category to differentiate yourself is, let's say, something which is non-existent, something new you might create. For example, Henry Ford said, if I had to ask people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses back then. So think about brands that are maybe startups that are tackling this. Do you have any ideas of brands that... This one is a bit harder because you need to be like really advanced. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom was there some time back. I think now it's resurfacing. I thought about the very first iPhone. MS Teams, yes. Tesla, yes. Very true. Thank you guys for your participation. I thought about the first iPhone because back then it was like, whoa, what is this? And finally, the fourth category is experience. Give your customer the experience, not just the product that you're offering, not just the service that you're offering. Can you think about another brand that gives the experience as well? Is Build-A-Bear. I don't know if you guys know this brand. They have a huge store in Dubai Mall. In fact, so Build-A-Bear is a brand for kids, but it doesn't only offer, you know, like you can go to any toy store and you can get a teddy bear. But it doesn't only offer you a teddy bear, but it gives you the whole experience inside the store where you go, you choose the color, and then you stuff the bear, and then you dress the bear, and you feed the bear, and all that. So for commodity, they really have a really compelling USP. So yeah, these are the four categories for differentiating yourself. So I just want you to think about the USP as like as a seed, and everything else comes out of it. Your Instagram is included there, your language is included there, how you act on social media is included there. So think about it as the seed, and everything grows out of it. All right. So going to specifically to the USP, I just want to say that we need to tie this with our Instagram grid, and we cannot just keep it as a standalone thing. So now we have to kind of execute what's happening with my brand on social media. So the first one, the first example that I want to give is P&Co. They really do it very, very well. they do not have their USP listed. So you don't see the name, the sentence that they thought about, but you can see it, you can feel it, they show it to you. This is another example, or more screenshots of what they have. So if we want to think about their USP or the feel that they give us, can anyone participate and tell me, how do you feel when you look at these images, when you look at their Instagram? What's the feel that it gives you, the feeling, the colors, maybe the locations, maybe the photography, maybe? Yusuf, adventurous soul, yes. Nostalgic old days, yes. Fresh, Suns. In action, Cheryl, very good. And nature, bike, accessories, masculine, something new. Great, thank you. Challenge, thank you for all your comments. Yes, very true. And how did you know all this? Because when you looked at them, you're like, okay, they're very consistent. They're always using things like the beach, the desert, the sand, the trees, the motorcycle, the retro feel. So you feel that they have a feeling of being free, where the bikes, for example, you have the retro feel. I think someone also mentioned that. And the coastal apparel, the clothing, which is like by the beach or in the desert. I have another example, which is Sugar Bear. Can you guys think about what Sugar Bear might have as USP when you look at it? Yes, truth to their day-to-day, correct. Happy, health, afro hair, teenager for millennials, fresh. Yes, so exactly. So they are very fresh, although it's a vitamin, and you know, so it is a vitamin for strengthening the hair. This is exactly what they sell. Boring way. No, they thought about a very fun way to portray themselves, and they stayed true to their brand. They knew that this is their target audience. They knew that they not only target the males, but also, sorry, not only the females, but also males. And they knew that they want to keep it as fresh as their brand logo, as fresh as their brand packaging. And they were true also on their Instagram. So they reflected everything across all their touch points, and even in their imagery. And actually, these are influencers that they use. So even with influencers, when you go and approach them, you have to give them that guideline. They cannot do something on their own. You have to tell them, you know what, this is how you need to take the shots. These are the angles. These are the colors that you need to use. If you send me something black and white, I'm not going to take it. So you have to like very careful when you choose the influencers and you put your content out there. Now, after talking about USP, I want to tackle the tone. The tone is something super important when you have your Instagram. It's the words that you choose, the tone words. It's again, going back to the feel that I was talking about. So how do you want your customers to feel? Think about yourself, okay? Think about how you would like to feel when someone sees your brand. Or if you are the customer and you're someone from the outside, how would you like this brand to make you feel? So when you think about that and you know this feeling, then it will be easier to put down the tone of voice of your brand. To put down all the imagery of your brand. Think about, do you want to be a summery beach brand, or you want to be like very edgy and very mysterious kind of New Yorker brand? So from all these thoughts, all these feelings, you have to form your tone words. And how do we form our tone words? So there's like a set of many words that form the tone words, and you can always find them online, or if you want, I can share them with you later on. always put all the words out there, put them on a whiteboard, and think about them. Start brainstorming with your team and say, okay, this works for my brand, this doesn't work for my brand. If you can choose, for example, 4 to 5 that really resonate, and then just pick and select them. And don't be afraid, you know, to select something which is kind of contradicting or opposites, because there are some examples where you can put an image and it could be calming yet very energetic. Okay, so don't be afraid to do that, but don't choose something which is super similar. For example, bold and strong, the word bold from here and strong from here. So not super similar, they can be far off from each other as well. So for example, when I was saying you can be similar, I was talking about something like this. This is a photo of a hallway. The blue walls make me feel like kind of calm. It's calming but yet energetic. But at the end of the hallway, there's like the strong colors of the red, the orange, the pink, that makes you feel that like kind of you're going to the energy zone, you know. Another example is from Converse. This one is more like edgy slash vintagey. So you see that the colors that they have chosen, the filter that they have chosen is very retro, is very like 90s maybe. And they were not afraid to do this. They were not afraid to say, you know what, this is the shoes that I'm introducing, and it's very retro, it's very vintage. I'm gonna put this kind of colors, even though maybe Converse stands for more bright and colorful thing. So always think about your words. This is by the way only for your use, okay? So it's not words that you go out there and you say them on your social media. So be very careful. These are words that you will brainstorm with your team, and then at the end, when you have identified everything, then you can go ahead and put them out with imagery, the right imagery, with the right angles, with the right filters, with the right captions as well, so that you can convey your USPs and the tonality in the right way. So for example, again, going back to P&Co, they have chosen, I think with the lots of research that I have done, or from the experience of looking at lots of pages, these are the tone words that reflect them. They are free, wild, retro, they are risky. I think someone mentioned risky earlier, or adventurous, but they are also warm. Another example, the sugar bear that I mentioned earlier, I think they're quirky, they're youthful, they're funky, alternative, fun. So what do you guys think? Do you agree to these? Satisfy time or money worth spending? What are you talking about, Yusuf? Or thank you. Okay, we still have some more. So thank you for sticking around, and please let me know if you have any questions. I just want to jump quickly to story. So after we have chosen the USP, after we have chosen the tone, please also think about the color. Of course, like if you want the proper way out, there's like a very detailed course that is happening next week, which we can tackle all this in it. But this is again like a general overview for you to grasp, and hopefully it will help you out. I just want to jump into the story. I want to say that in story you have to focus on your photography, so use the right photographer. Don't use a landscape photographer for your food brand, okay? Use a food photographer, and each picture needs to have your USP. So think about if your picture is actually translating into your story. So your brand story is taken from your USP, is taken from your tone words, so they all are connected to each other, okay? Here an example, the king died and the queen died. A plot. The king died and the queen died of grief This is a story. So how can we translate this in a way that resonates with our consumer? A brand story is something emotional. It's an emotional narrative that opens up to opportunity for the customers to resonate with your brand. So you need to be very choosy. You need to be careful of how you kind of portray this. So your brand story is made complete when your brand elements, values, USPs, tone, color palette, the experience, your Instagram, everything is there, is all conveyed all together in your story. So again, looking at the P&Co, their story sells. They are telling a human story. Humans created stories, you know, from all times ago, when we saw them all on the walls with the Stone Age, for example. So they have been there forever. Think about this brand, for example. Think about their USP. Think about the tone words that they're using. Think about how their photography is very edgy. It's very done in the right way. Look at the angles that they're choosing. Look at her hair flowing in the air. It shows you it's free. Look at, you can feel the narrative. You can feel how they are. Look at the bikes. Just let's stop for a second and imagine this. Imagine that they had images with someone with a suit, or the t-shirt that they're selling, but someone wearing it in a suit, sitting like me in an office. They have no motorbikes. Would you still feel that they serve their USP? Do you feel that that would have made sense for you, for example, as a consumer? It's a question. Yes, correct. It feels like I want to be there because they present that. So if they had like someone in a suit sitting in an office still kind of selling the same shirt, it's not going to work out for them. So their photography is on point, their locations, their colors, their filters, everything is on point, and everything is done purposefully. Another thing that I want to talk about is captions. So not just photography, but the caption is also something that translates your story. So don't ignore captions. They are very important, even if you're going to hire a copywriter to do the right captions for you. A social media copywriter, not a copywriter that writes a press release. I mean, yes, they can do both, but you have to be very careful with the limits, with the way you're engaging. If your purpose is to engage with the customer, you have to do that. So for example, this is a brand called Charity Water. They have great work in displaying their tonality in their captions. They always talk about hope, the hope of giving water. They're not always telling you go and donate for these countries that they don't have water. No, they are translating it in a story, like, okay. Another brand that I really love is Skittles. If you go to their Instagram or Facebook from long time ago, they always use funny, very crazy captions as well, even though some of them they don't make sense, but this is what they use, and it's right on, because they are consistent. So being consistent is very important. So think about how you're editing your images. Think about how you're putting your captions. Are you using filters? Are you not using filters? Are you taking a photographer? Are you not taking a photographer? So now, just to put everything and conclude everything, after we spoke about the USPs, after we spoke about the colors, after we spoke about the tone, after we spoke about being consistent and taking care of your captions and choosing your right tone of words. Now put everything into action. Put everything on Instagram. So choose your imagery. Be very consistent. I have put some here, some websites that you can choose your imagery from for free. So Upsplash and Pixels is really good content there. But the best way
Jessica, I'm sorry to cut you. I think, there's
Yeah, we
something.
lost
okay, for last minute.
Can you
Yeah,
repeat it? Yeah, can you repeat
yeah,
it?
exactly. Thank you, Nagina.
Sure. Thanks. Okay, thank you guys. So I was just saying that to put everything all together, I have a couple of suggestions. First, choose your imagery, be very consistent. I have put down here some websites that you can use as free tools, or some of them are paid as well. Unsplash is one of my favorite, where you can get images for free, but please choose the right images, choose the right angles. But the best way actually to do it is to hire a photographer. If you have the money, just hire a photographer, do the editing in-house. That would be the best way to go about it. Second thing is editing your images. So choosing the right filter. Probably you have seen with P&Co, for example, as an example. They always use kind of that yellowish sunset colors. So be consistent there as well when editing. And finally, arrange your photos in a proper way. So have a content calendar, like as you see here, have a content calendar and plan ahead of time. There are some tools that you can use to plan your grid, not just your Hootsuite, probably you've heard of it, or Social Bakers and so on, but also tools that can put all the images from your phone, let's say. You can upload them on this, and then you can pick and choose. For example, if you see on preview on the left side how they're removing the girl's picture and placing it somewhere else, so you can visualize your grid before it goes and gets published online. So planning, again, is something very important. This concludes my session. If you think
Jessica,
that
we
you have
have
any
two questions. Yeah,
yes.
so we have two questions.
Let me go to the chat.
Yeah, so someone is asking, what makes the best visual on Instagram? What do you think? So what makes the best visual on Instagram?
I don't know who's asking this, but I want to ask you the question. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think makes the best visual? Is something that made you feel good, right? Is something that made you feel connected to this brand. Also, when you look at their overall grid, when you see the consistency, when you see that all their imagery is also across all their touch points the same, you would know that this brand is true to their USP, to their value. So think about it from your side always. You know, as marketeers or as brand managers, we always think like, why they didn't like my picture, or why they didn't interact with my photo, because we're not putting ourselves there. We're not putting ourselves in their shoes. As a consumer, we are consumers, right? I mean, I would buy your soap and you would buy my phone and things like that. So let's put ourselves in their shoes and think, if this is making me feel good, if this is making me feel connected, if this is spiking anything in my head. Actually, there was a study that was done, I think, in Institute of California, where they put two identical wine bottles or juice bottles, and each one had a different price tag. One had a price tag of $10 and the other one $100. And when they did this study on their brain, they found out that when people were drinking the $100 bottle, they were having crazy sensations in there. And this tells you that because of their perception, because they thought, oh, you know what, it's $100, it must be very good. Although the conductor, the tester, the doctor had the exact same bottle. So it's your perception. You have to think about that. And yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. So Rahil is asking as well, all these steps that you just covered will help me to grow my followers and know my brand? What do you think?
Yes, so all these steps are good for you to brand your Instagram in the right way. Of course, they are more an organic way. There is another thing which is called the promoted way, or paid media. You have to invest in that as well. because the organic reach on be it Facebook or Instagram is low. So you have to do both efforts. But if you do this, it's great because you are presenting your brand. It's your lookbook, it's your catalog. You're presenting your brand in a very proper way. You are really touching on your values, your mission, your USPs. So yes, it will definitely help out.
Absolutely. Brahim has a question. Do you want to go ahead, Brahim? You can just unmute yourself and ask anything you want.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for this.
Hey.
It's an amazing session and learned a lot. So I've got two
Thank
questions. My first important question is, what about hashtags? How important are they for a business post, a B2B post? Can you explain that, please?
Yes, hashtags are important. Hashtags are something that Instagram uses like other platforms, and you should definitely utilize them. Our best suggestion is to use 7 to 10 hashtags on Instagram post. I know that Instagram gives you an opportunity to put even 30 hashtags, but choose the right hashtags that are relevant to you. And you know, I've seen so many people that are using hashtags which are so random. Don't do that. Do some research. See if your competitor is using it. See if people are using it. See how much this hashtag is popular out there. And you can use it with free tools online. You can just do a quick Google search and you can find out that. So yes, use it for B2C, B2B. Again, when you talk about B2B, of course, it has different platforms that caters for it better. But that's a different topic and we can talk about it one-on-one.
Absolutely. And one more thing, Ibrahim, I mean, I just want you to think of it in this way. I mean, hashtags usually, I mean, we use hashtags for discoverability. So imagine that if your posts doesn't have any hashtag, it means that you will not be discovered on this platform, which is called Instagram. And it's exactly the same thing on Twitter and any other platform. So the importance of using hashtag, whether it's a B2C or B2B, is discoverability. You want to be discovered for this specific, let's say, piece of content that you want people to know more about, right?
I get it. Cool. Okay. Thanks a lot. One more question, guys. So it is not really relevant to the whole thing we did right now, but it's related to B2B and business. So what's happening right now is that we see an explosion of influencers in this market right now, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
these influencers are a combination of people sitting at home right now and people working from home right now. And what's happening is that businesses are tying up with these people and asking them to promote their business, do a giveaway, do a promo code discount, right? How valuable and how much value does it add for a business? For example, if I am XYZ, right? And if I give Miss Jessica saying that, hey, please promote my product and please promote my do a giveaway. And
I'm not an influencer.
this example.
I'm
So,
doing,
so Jessica, please promote my product, do a giveaway. I need 5,000 followers and 1,000 followers. I just want a promotion. I just want my branding to be out there. How valuable is it really for my brand? I mean, is it just getting these not really valuable customers and followers? Is because people are, everybody wants a giveaway, you get likes and you get followers. Is that the case, or is it really making a difference for your brand? I need to know that.
Yeah. You want to go ahead? It makes no difference.
Using influencers is really a huge topic. Guys, I know that just like a clarification, I know that I'm getting lots of questions about hashtags, when to post and all that. These are more technical. Our session today is more about planning it and branding your Instagram, okay? So all the technical stuff, if you want, I will tackle these in the proper session of next week, which we have. But to answer your question, influencers, yes. So this is a huge topic because it all depends on your brand. So there are the macro influencers, the micro influencers, the nano. So either the 1 million followers base or even the 1,000 base. So you have to be super selective. You have to understand that this is another way, like it's an affiliate marketing. It's another whole way of marketing. You have to choose them rightly. You have to know if they are genuine or not. You have to do contracts with them. You have to address them, tell them what kind of content they need to put. Of course, they are creative and they can create their own content, but also you have to put that parameters as well. not just choosing like random one of 1 million follower and pay him $100,000 and say, oh, you know what? Yes, this will get me my followers. No, you have to really go dig deeper into their account and see if their followers are also relevant to you. Will they be a possible target audience for your brand as well, or they're just, let's say you took an influencer from the UAE, but her followers are all based, let's say, in Germany because she's German, but she's living in the UAE, and you thought that she's the right influencer, but you didn't do the right digging, the right researching into her followers base, into the comments that she gets, the likes and the comments that she's getting, to understand really if she's the right person. So the research for influencers is something very important, and choosing the influencer is all depending on all these findings that you will get.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just to answer you really quick, Ibrahim, yes, influencer marketing is a huge topic, and it is still beneficial for brands. The most important thing, just like Jessica said, is to know who to choose for you to really collaborate with or to work with. And that's the key, by the way. So you have micro and macro influencers. So, and that's another topic that we usually cover during our course. And just to answer a lot of people that are asking about Instagram advertising, Facebook, Instagram courses, and all these kind of stuff. So yes, these are the main topics that we cover throughout our course. So if you can just like go to the next slide, Jessica. So just to tell you guys a bit about the full course that we have, which is the digital marketing track, that's happening on the 18th of July, by the way. So this is a 2 weeks course. So usually we tackle everything when it comes to digital marketing. So we talk about a lot of things in digital marketing, from definitions, from explanations. That's on the first day, which is comprehensive. Then we jump into Google Analytics. And we go into much more details when it comes to Google Analytics for you to understand what are the things to track on a website, what are the things to keep an eye on, and etc. And then we tackle the push marketing campaigns, which are the social media campaigns. So we talk a lot about LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Twitter, Snapchat. So we tackle all of these channels during a period of 2 days. So we have dedicated 2 days for the advertising part for the social media channels. And then we talk more about Google ads in terms of paid search campaigns. So we talk about the user intent, how to do keyword research, how to group your ads into something called an ad group, and how to optimize at the end to get the best results for your paid search for the campaigns that you can see on google.com. Then after that, we talk about SEO. So how to rank your website better, right? So what are the tools, what are the kind of analysis that we do on the website, and how to optimize it, how to add the relevant content for the search engine so that it can be found easier. And obviously we talk about crafting a social media strategy. So we talk a lot, I mean, everything that Jessica covered today. So we really elaborate even more in a full 3-hour session to talk more about the social media strategy, no matter what the channel is. But we dig deeper into specific channels like Instagram, Facebook, and others. And finally, at the end, we cover email marketing because it's part of customer retention. Today, I've done a lot of things, but what I need to do is that I need to retain those customers. I have a lot of people that have visited my website. How can I retain them with remarketing campaigns? How can I retain them with an email marketing campaign? So and most of the things, I mean, 80% of the things that I've just talked about right now are pure practical. So we show you guys how to really run campaigns on different channels, how to create an email marketing campaign, an automation campaign, and all these kind of stuff. So, I mean, again, just to talk a bit more about this course, I mean, how is it different, I mean, than any other course or from the in-person courses that we usually used to have? So first of all, this one is spread over a period of 2 weeks. So I mean, in this way, we will have more time to really grasp the information, because I mean, really the material and the information that we share, we understand that somehow they are overwhelming. So I mean, there is much more time for you to really grasp and to come back with exercises, with questions, with doubts that you have. And obviously it is a mixed learning model between us as different instructors, that we join you in this class, and you guys, I mean, you share your experiences as well. I mean, at Astrolabs, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a community, right? So we want people to interact, to engage during those courses, and to share their experiences. And obviously we have daily assignments. So that's not the kind of the course where you just sit and watch, right? So you come with your popcorn and you start watching. That's not it. What you need to do is we have assignments. We want you guys to start working and to practice what we're talking about. And we offer as well office hours, which are dedicated hours for specific groups, so that you can come during a period of, let's say, half an hour or 1 hour, where you can just have your questions ready, and then we can jump on such a call to answer your questions in a group format. So I mean, that's everything. I mean, that's almost everything that we have to share with you guys. If you can just jump into the next slide. Yeah, so that's the link. I'm sure that Nagina will be sharing this recorded session, because a lot of people have asked again. And yes, we will be sharing with you guys this recorded session, and she will be sharing the link for our course. I mean, just in case you feel that this is the right course for you, you can get all the details on that link, which is going to be shared from Nagina. So Nagina is sharing her email address right now. If you have any question, you can, I mean, feel free to do that right now. You can ask me, you can ask Jessica, you can send an email for Nagina asking about anything, the course, or just anything. So let me just check again the chat if we still have something that we haven't covered. So we wanna provide value as much as we can during this 1 hour session. So just a second. Yeah, so regarding, so yeah, yeah, Mariam, I've answered your question. So yes, we will be having a full Instagram and Facebook paid advertising course, which is during our full program. What about posting routine? Any advice? So yeah, so Jessica already, I mean, talked about that. This is a wider topic which we're going to be covering during our full course. So obviously we will be answering those. Is it better to put hashtags in the first comment? So yeah, Ahmed, I've already answered you that in the chat. So if you guys are planning to do that, yeah. All right. So I mean, yeah, I think we've answered everyone. If we've missed something, you can just, I mean, you can just jump in right now and ask your question verbally if you want. So yeah. As a business owner, is it better to hire a digital marketing or attend the workshop? So yeah, that's a very good question, Ayman. Just to answer you, I mean, as a business owner, honestly, just to tell you, yes, it's very good to attend such a training or such a digital marketing training, but in return, that doesn't mean that you will be, I'm not saying that you won't be able to handle everything. Yes, you will be able to do that if you have the time to do it, right? Because I mean, just to answer you, a lot of people usually comes to our trainings maybe not to handle everything, I mean, manually, because they don't have the time to do that. But most of them, they come to our trainings because they have managerial, or they are the business owners, they have managerial positions, and they want to understand what the agency is doing, what their team is doing. But just to answer you, if you want to do it yourself, yes, this is the right workshop or the right training for you as well. I mean, it can cater for both, right? For someone that wants to know more to really manage and handle the team or the agency they're working with, or if he is a solo entrepreneur and he wants to do things on his own, yes, it is the right training for you. All right.
And also, just to mention a quick thing for that, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, I think this is the most ideal course for you, because firstly, you're getting to know different aspects of digital marketing which you've not known earlier. Plus, you're also able to give them, come up with new strategies and recommendations to your team itself, which will, of course, further enhance it even more. So at the end of the day, it's going to help you in both ways. Even if you hire a person in the future as a digital marketer, you'll be able to supervise them. Plus, also, give them come up with some new things, innovations and recommendations that will further enhance your ad campaigns as well. So yeah, it definitely going to be a win-win situation in both cases.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nagina. So I think, guys, I mean, that's what we have for today. So again, if anyone has anything, you can always reach out to Nagina. You can always drop your question right now. I mean, so yeah. And Jessica, thank you very much for the valuable information. I think, I mean, that's it for me. If you have anything to add, please do that.
Anyone else? Thank you guys.
Thank you very much for attending today's meetup. We really hope to see you again in future sessions. All right? Have an amazing day.
Thank you.
We have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.